All right, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the 187th District Court. These are the
All right. Yeah. Do you have any?
these are the rules of the
I'll
187th
let's-
District Court. First off, everyone, please make sure you are muted. To all of the inmates, you are not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be taken back to your cell. This is not the Bachelorette. It's not the Bachelor. You are not allowed to try to pick people up for dates on this Zoom. To everyone else, this is a courtroom. Treat it as a courtroom. Do not wear a hat on this Zoom screen. Everyone who's at home, please find a stationary place, because when you do the movement, it makes everyone nauseous because the camera is jumping up and down. If you have a plea bargain agreement, put your plea bargain agreement in the chat box to Ferguson. She's our court coordinator, Norma Ferguson. She's listed as Ferguson coordinator. No matter how small the agreement is, you need to send it to her. If your client is on bond, she will need your client's email address in order to get the paperwork to your client. There is to be no driving while you're Zooming. For people who are at work, you are not at work. You're in the 187th District Court. If you do not behave professionally or appropriately, you will be required to appear in the 187th District Court. You will not be appearing at home by Zoom. To all the attorneys, I'm going to call your name. That name is the order in which you'll appear. When I call your name, let me know that you are here. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and assign you to a room. To all the attorneys, prosecutors have the ability to move throughout the rooms. They will meet you in a breakout room. Please be patient, because as you can see, we have more defense attorneys than we have prosecutors. Consider the breakout rooms as going to your doctor. When you go to the doctor and they call your name and you think you're immediately seeing your doctor, nope, you're being taken to another room to check your blood pressure and weight. So that's what's happening, but I promise a prosecutor will meet you. This is the order for the attorneys. If you see that you're on the list and you wish to Zoom to another courtroom, you can Zoom to another courtroom. But if your name is called while you're Zooming in the courtroom, you'll go to the end of the list. Roland Garcia, Gary Churek, Sean Dawes, Todd McCray, Robert Maurer, Nathaniel Navy, Dan Rodriguez, Jonathan Chavez, Johnny Cisneros, Sharon Thorne, Orlando Castagnol. Is there an attorney that I'm missing? All right. Roland Garcia, who do you have?
I have Jonathan Yost, Your Honor. I do see him on the screen. He's listed as just Jonathan.
And is it a CTD case or family violence?
This is a special crimes. Miss McGraw is the prosecutor on it, and I see her online as well.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. All right, Ms. McGraw, you have the ability to move to different rooms. Roland, I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
Your Honor, we don't need to confer on this. This
Yes.
was a motion to withdraw, which I filed. You recalled it. It would have been during Snow Week, but you wanted Mr. Yost to confer with other attorneys to see if he was going to be retaining another attorney or if he was going to need court appointed. Ms. McGraw has a copy of the motion to withdraw, which she does not oppose.
All right, just give me one moment. Mr. Yost?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you going to hire an attorney?
Yes, I am.
When are you planning on hiring an attorney?
The attorney reached out to me because I do live in Hawaii, and the attorney reached out to me that I'd
That's
be
not
able
my
to retain.
question. My question is, when are you hiring an attorney?
Within the next 2 weeks, I'll have an attorney.
All right, Norma, can you put in the chat box, what's the status of Mr. Yost?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just give me one moment. And to the clerks in the back,
Yes, Judge.
I do not have the motion to withdraw that's filed by Roland Garcia on Jonathan Keith Yost in the file.
Okay.
Just give us a moment, Mr. Garcia. Gary Churak,
Yes, ma'am.
who do
I
you have?
have David Hernandez. We had a hearing last week or so. He's been found incompetent and he's in medical treatment.
All right, let me check. Has he been sent to the
He is
hospital?
he's in Laurel Ridge right now, and I guess when he gets discharged from there, they're going to move him to one of the state hospitals.
All right, Norma, can you give Mr. Hernandez a 90-day reset, please?
Yes, ma'am. Let me look at the calendar.
That's the time that it usually takes for restoring of competency.
We can come back on June 3rd.
All right. Thank you, Norma.
All right, bye.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Bye.
Everyone, just give me a moment, please. Sean Dawes?
Yes, Your Honor. I have John Anthony Perez. He has 3 other cases, but the indicted case is the one that's set for today. I'd sent an email to Ms. Reyes. I guess I see Tom there.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
I'm sorry, CTD, yes.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
Judge, I'm not sure. The ag kidnapping has a 701. I think the drug case is mine, but I think the kidnapping is family violence. So maybe send one of each of us will go into that breakout room.
All right, someone from family violence, if you go to breakout room number 1, please. And Mr. Dawes, I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
Thank you.
Mr. Dawes, the email you sent me was to go to Norma. I'll forward it to her.
Todd
okay.
McRae, who do you have?
Good morning. I have Wilson Jimenez.
Is it family violence or criminal trial division?
I believe it's CTD, Judge.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2. A prosecutor will meet you there. All right, we're back with Mr. Yost. I do have the motion to withdraw now. State, have you received a copy of this?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't oppose.
Okay, here's the problem. I have a motion to withdraw that hasn't been signed by defense counsel. Defense, did you actually sign the motion?
I thought I did. I know that the proposed order that I sent was signed by Mr. Yost. He's in agreement.
Yes, but I have no document that's been signed by you. If you can find a signed document by you, let me know. Just give me a moment. Robert Maurer.
Judge, I have Andre Hernandez. He's both 701 and trial division. I don't need to confer. I've received an offer. I did, however, file a motion yesterday to remove the GPS. I'm wondering if we have time to hear that this morning or.
All right, who is it? Is it criminal trial division or family?
He's got both cases. 701, he's got 701 cases and CTV.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 3. A prosecutor will meet you to discuss whatever issues you have with that.
Thank you.
Sure. Nathaniel Navy?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Rocky Marias, and he also has one of each, criminal trial and family violence.
How do you spell the last name?
Morillos.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 4. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, I
Yes.
thought I was sending a chat box to you, but I accidentally sent it to everybody, but I sent the signed motion to withdraw through the chat.
All right, to the clerks in the back, is there a reason why I don't have the signed motion to withdraw?
Let me check too.
Your Honor, while we're waiting, there's one
Yes.
matter on Mr. Yost. There was a change of address submitted when you moved to Hawaii, and the filing agency is the Secret Service, and I asked them to look into the address, and they said it does not exist. I was wondering if we could get some clarification on his address.
All right, Mr. Garcia, before I hear your motion, you're still Mr. Yost's attorney. I'm going to send you a breakout room with your attorney and with Mr. Yost. And if you could clarify any location issues for Mr. Yost, please.
Okay.
And then after that, I'll hear your motion. I'll send you to breakout room number 5. And Mr. Yost, you need to go to 5.
Judge, this is Marcus. Can you make me a co-host?
Yes. Dan Rodriguez.
Hi, Judge. I have Mr. Sebastian Salazar. It's trial division. I have been dealing with Marcus in the past.
All right. I'll send you to breakout room number 6. The prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jonathan Chavez.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here on Matthew Velasquez, and he's here on the screen as well. Just under Matthew Velasquez. On him, if I could just confer with somebody in CTD, and then on his judge, I'd also just have the standing order, the blood discovery order.
You say Matthew Velasquez?
Yes.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 7.
Okay.
Johnny Cisneros.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Who do you have?
Edward Guild, Family Violence, Your Honor. And I need to see a prosecutor, please.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 8.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sharon Thorne.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I have a Ricky Darnell Ford. It's a regular felony CTD, and I guess I've been talking with Marcus, so I need to confer with him. My client's in custody.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 9.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Orlando Castagno.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, who do you have?
I have Roland Davis. I also have a matter off docket I'd like to approach about setting an MTR or setting a bond on an MTR.
All right, just give me a moment. Roland Davis, is that
He's in
family
custody.
violence? Is it family violence or criminal trial division?
Criminal trial division.
Okay, I'll send you to breakout room number 10. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you.
Your Honor, what room did Todd McCray go to?
2.
Thank you.
All right, Joanne Eckel.
Good morning, Judge. I have
Morning.
Jesus Gonzalez, and it's the criminal trial division.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 11. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Ed Cano.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
Hi, all right. How are you doing? Who do you have?
I have a Devin Soto.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Trial division.
All right. I'll send you to breakout room number 12. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right. Just one moment. Is there any other defense attorney whose name I haven't called yet? All right. Then we're going to go back to Roland Garcia, your case. Roland Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Yost.
Yes, I have an updated address that I can provide the court.
All right. If you'll put it in the chat box to Ms. McGraw.
Okay.
And David Lunan, are you here for a specific defense attorney?
Yeah, it's Kimball Ward, represents Melvin Jones.
All right. She hasn't signed in yet.
Okay.
All right. And then if everyone will be patient, we're going to start, Brenna, on Mr. Yost. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 9647, State of Texas versus Jonathan Keith Yost. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Dawn McCraw for the state.
For the defense?
Roland Garcia for the defense.
And are you Mr. Yost?
Yes, I am.
Right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Yost, do you have any objections with this hearing taking place by video?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court is in receipt of a motion to withdraw. State, have you had a chance to review that motion to withdraw counsel?
Yes, I have, Your Honor, and I have no objection.
All right, Mr. Yost, the court is in receipt of the motion of your attorney to withdraw. According to the motion, your signature is on the motion stating that you agree to the defense's request to withdraw as counsel. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you have any objections to your attorney withdrawing?
No, Your Honor.
Then that will be granted. Mr. Yost, are you going to hire an attorney or do you need one appointed to you?
I'll be hiring an attorney, Your Honor.
When will you have your attorney?
Probably within the next 2 weeks, I should have my attorney retained.
All right, Norma, I want this case recalled for the 1st of April. Mr. Yost, you'll need to have your attorney by then.
Okay.
That's either yes or no.
Yes,
I know
ma'am.
you're all relaxed. You're in Hawaii, you know, doing your thing, but you're in the courtroom. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
April 9th, Judge.
All right, you will come back on April 9th and you will receive the Zoom link. Norma, do you have his email address?
No, ma'am.
You need to put your email address in the chat box, Mr. Yost, so that
Okay.
the court coordinator will be able to send you the link.
How do I do that, Your Honor?
Let me ask this. Roland, do you have his email address?
I do.
Could you forward that email? Has your email address changed since the last time you gave it to Mr. Garcia?
No, ma'am.
All right, Roland, could you give that email address to the court coordinator, please?
Yes, I will send it in the chat box.
All right, with that, the hearing will be closed on this and all parties are excused.
No, Your Honor, I did send the email, I did send a chat to Ms. McGraw with the new address. You want me to send that to Norma as well?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I received it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Norma, I just received a file on Kenduan Blocker. Why do I have this?
That's Orlando that he wants to approach you on, Judge. We're just pulling the files.
Okay, all right, thank you. Anyone else back from the breakout room?
I am, Your Honor. Johnny?
Yes.
Robert Mauer, I'm back as well.
All right, Johnny Cisneros on Edward Gill. What is happening?
Judge, Mr. David Martin is in a meeting, so he wasn't available to me, but nothing's changed. So I just want to go ahead and just set this for trial.
All right, Mr. Gill, where are you? Could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am. Right here, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gill, your plea deadline date has expired, so the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements after today. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means that this will be a jury trial. If you decide to enter a plea, the court will only accept plea agreements that are open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, are there any outstanding discovery issues?
No, ma'am.
All right, to the state. Is there a family violence prosecutor in here, please? Just 1 second.
I'm not family violence, but you just need me to appear, Judge.
Yes, if you could let the state know when they come back in, because I can't put anything into the chat box to them personally, because otherwise, when they come out of the breakout room, they won't see it. But
Yes.
I'm going to expect an acknowledgement of discovery on this. That will be due on April 2nd. And that's for Edward Gill.
Edward Gill.
Yes.
I'll pass that along.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Cisneros, you and Mr. Gill are excused. And we will set you for jury trial.
Thank you, and everybody stay healthy.
All right, you two take care of yourself.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Your Honor. Your Honor.
All right, Robert Mauer.
Judge, I confer with Marcus. I need to have my client come in to review the discovery on his new cases.
Who's your client?
Andre Lee Hernandez, Judge. I'll give you a SID. It's probably easier.
Oh, no, the files are in alphabetical order, so.
Okay.
All right, where's Andre Hernandez?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Judge, I did want to ask the court if we could, Marcus is opposed to my motion to remove GPS, but I would like to see if the court can hear it this morning. It shouldn't take very long.
All right, has a motion been filed or no?
It's filed. It was filed yesterday.
All right, State, do you have any objection to having that motion heard today?
No, Judge.
All right, to the clerks in the back, could I have the motion on Andrew Hernandez? Motion to remove GPS, please.
Yes, Judge.
All right, and what other new cases are we speaking of when we say discovery? Is this some case that hasn't been indicted?
There is a assault public servant case. So he was out on bond in your court for a couple 701 cases. And there's a new, I think, felony evading and assault public servant.
All right, State, have you made an offer on these cases or no?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And so when I say offer on these cases, you made an offer on the aggravated assault against public servant, evading arrest, detention with a vehicle, and injury to an elderly bodily injury?
Yes, Robert can verify, but I'm pretty sure it was an offer that encompassed all the cases.
That's correct, Judge.
All right, Mr. Andre Hernandez, I'm going to give you a plea deadline date. What that means is that the court will not accept any plea bargains after that date. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, can you recall this case back for the second week in April? If you can give me a date, please.
April 10th.
All right, April 10th is a Saturday.
April 8th.
All right, you're going to come back on April 8th, and that is your plea deadline date. What that means is if you're intending to accept a plea bargain agreement from the state, that will be the time to do it. We'll recall you back for April 8th. And if you do not accept a plea bargain agreement, then we will schedule you for a jury trial. And the court will not accept any plea bargains after that date. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Maurer, as soon as the clerks pull that motion, we'll hear your motion.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else back from the breakout room? Dan Rodriguez?
I am, Your Honor. Yes.
What is happening with Mr. Sebastian Salazar?
We have an offer on the table. It was kind of updated a little bit, so I wanted to speak with Mr. Salazar.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Salazar, where are you?
He might be in the waiting room.
No, there's no one in the waiting room.
Waiting room.
Sebastian Salazar.
Yeah, he's had his number has changed many times in the course of my representation of him. So let me try to track him down to get him on the Zoom.
All right.
Or in person.
I'll give him till 10:30.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Judge, when you have a moment, Tom and Todd McRae back from the breakout room.
All right, just give me a moment. Yes.
Okay, Wilson Jimenez at the bottom of page 2.
Yes.
We just benched this guy back from the feds. I think he arrived a week or so ago. Todd and I conferred. It's a first setting. We are going to speak with the next of kin to start preparing a potential offer for the defense. Todd is going to work on some defensive issues, and he and I are going to confer off docket. If we could have a regular reset, please, that would be great.
All right, Norma. Can you give us a regular reset on Wilson Jimenez, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jimenez, are you Wilson Jimenez? Could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. You're Wilson Daniel Jimenez?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, we're going to give you a reset. That will give your attorney a time to investigate your case, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Sure. All right, what date, Norma?
We can come back on a Friday, Judge.
Can you put it at the end of April, please?
April 30th.
All right, we'll come back on April 30th. Mr. McRae, will that give you time to do your work?
It'll give me time to get started, Judge, and I'll be over to work with Mr. Jimenez and Mr. Nisbet.
All right, do you need to speak with your client?
I could speak with him briefly, Judge, just to.
All right,
just to
once
see
you
him.
speak, I'm going to send your client to the breakout room. Once you speak with him, he needs to come back to the main room so we can excuse him from here. And Todd, if you'll go back to breakout room number 2, and Mr. Jimenez, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Robert Maurer, I have your motion.
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
ready to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hernandez, you need to show your video.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Brenner, you ready? Court is calling 2020 CR 10238, State of Texas versus Andre Lee Hernandez. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Robert Maurer for defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez, do you have any objections to this hearing taking place by video?
No, ma'am.
All right. Defense, I'm in receipt of your motion to modify terms and conditions of bond. You're requesting that he be released from GPS. State, have you had a chance to review the motion?
Judge, I haven't. It's because it was filed yesterday. It's not in 360, but Robert told me what it entails, and there's nothing in there that would change my opinion.
All right. Do you have any objections to us to this hearing taking place, even though you've just received the motion today?
No objection.
All right. Defense is your motion. You may begin.
Judge, I'm not going to present any evidence, just argument. We were previously here and the court had modified Mr. Hernandez's GPS to allow him partial for work. He owns a landscaping business and to help take care of his kid. The court was also—
I'm sorry, just one moment. Where's the extra noise coming from? Whoever is not a part of this hearing, you need to be on mute. The court reporter cannot hear, and I will not be able to hear. I'm sorry, defense. Continue, please.
And the court was gracious enough to waive the GPS fees. However, in spite of that, having the GPS is proving unduly burdensome to Mr. Hernandez, and would ask the court, the last time we heard said the court, my recollection, you would consider removing the GPS depending on how he did while he was on it. And since the last time we were here, he has not had any pretrial violations that I've been informed of. So I would ask the court to remove the GPS as being unduly burdensome.
State?
We're opposed to removing the GPS based on the offenses that the defendant's charged with: an ag assault public servant, a first degree injury to elderly, and an ABI misdemeanor. Additionally, he has 2 evadings that are pending, one already indicted and one awaiting indictment. And I think that goes to show that he is not necessarily trustworthy on his own, and GPS is needed to ensure that he shows up to the court settings.
All right. So this is the court's question. Cause number 2020 CR 10238, where the defendant is charged with injury to an elderly. What is the offense date?
June 9th, 2020.
And in cause number 2020 CR 12244, where the defendant is charged with evading arrest detention vehicle, what is the offense date?
October 3rd, 2020.
And in cause number 2020 CR 12245, where the defendant is charged with aggravated assault on a public servant, what is the offense date?
October 3rd, 2020.
And you said there are new cases?
There is an evading arrest on foot from July 9th, 2020, so the same as the injury to elderly. And there is a misdemeanor ABI family from March 12th, 2019.
All right, so here's my question. The GPS fees have been waived. What is the issue with Mr. Hernandez being on GPS?
Judge, I guess if the court would like to, let me call Mr. Hernandez to testify just about the GPS.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand.
May I proceed, Judge?
Yes, Mr. Hernandez, if you can state your name for the record, please.
Andre Lee Hernandez.
All right, defense?
I remember. Yes. Andre, we're here today, 1 for docket call, but 2, the judges granted us a hearing on the motion to remove GPS. Can you tell the judge why it's vital to you to have the GPS removed?
I've been on the monitor since the day that They gave me the monitor. I haven't caused no violations. I haven't gotten no trouble. I'm not being able to see my children. I'm getting work, but I'm having to quit jobs between the hours of 6 o'clock to get back home. You know what I mean? Like, I know we're having a pandemic or whatever you want to call it, but I'm not being able to accustom, like being able to take care of all of my responsibilities. And I'm not even making enough to really establish myself because I'm only working from 8 to 6 o'clock in the evening.
And are those hours that were imposed on you by pretrial services?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so would it benefit you if the judge gave you extended hours? So
Yes,
you could,
sir. It would greatly help me out. I have bills and I'm constantly trying to catch back up with bills and all this stuff that's catching up with the snow and the COVID. I'm barely even getting work, and it's like the work that I'm getting, I'm catching it as I can go. You know what I mean? Because I gotta give them a time frame. I gotta go and give them an estimate. You know, it's all processing, and it's like it's kind of real hard on me right now.
let me ask you a question, Andre. Is pretrial making you check in with them every time you go to cut a yard?
No, sir.
Okay. But they are restricting the hours that you can go work.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But it'd be beneficial to you if the judge removed the GPS entirely.
Yes, sir. I have no problems about coming to court. I have no problems with none of the above. I understand my circumstances, and I'm more willing to resolve the situation as soon as possible. It's just it's real hard for me to do everything with a 6 o'clock deadline. You know, every day from 6 o'clock, and then I'm on lockdown on Sundays. It's understandable I'm on lockdown on Sundays, but it's Monday through Saturday. I'm in from 8 a.m. to 6 in the evening. I gotta be inside exactly at 6. And I have not messed up at all. I've been doing everything and anything I can to just resolve the situation.
Okay. We understand that okay, Judge, I pass the witness just for purposes of the hearing only.
All right. State, any questions?
No, Judge.
All right, I have another question. He's saying that he hasn't been allowed to see his children. And Mr. Hernandez, I'm not taking any of these cases as true. I don't have any information. Nothing has been presented to me. The assault bodily injury that he's charged with, that's a misdemeanor. Is that complainant the mother? First of all, is the complainant his girlfriend, wife, or the mother of his children? Does anyone know?
Mother of my children.
All right, so you're saying you haven't been able to see your children. I don't know what the conditions are for your bond in the assault bodily injury case.
Yes, ma'am.
But it seems to me that the reason for your not seeing your children is not related to the GPS so much as it's related to your charge with assault bodily injury against the mother of your children. And I don't want you to speak to anything in regards to that case because I don't want you mentioning any facts of that. So I don't understand. He's been placed on partial GPS. He's allowed to work. He does have a curfew, but that curfew is if he's not working. So I don't understand who would be cutting lawns at night. I know he's not doing any landscaping at night.
Well,
my
Judge,
understanding, the sun goes down at 6.
Well, time changes this weekend.
Oh, thank you.
So there will be extended hours. He'll have the opportunity to work. So I'd ask if
I don't understand why your client is shaking his head at the court. See, this is why you're in the situation where you are in now, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes, ma'am.
So I am considering whether or not I'm not going to remove the GPS. It shouldn't be removed because you have all these cases. You understand? And the aggravated assault against a public servant, I'm not saying it's true, but that would be labeled as a violent offense. Assault bodily injury, that's labeled as a violent offense. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Correct, Your Honor.
So I don't need the head shaking as though you've been doing great things in your life and somebody has just made your life more inconvenient. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I totally do. I apologize.
So I've been outside at 6 p.m. I don't understand why landscaping is not completed before then, I'll consider and I will extend his curfew, but I'm not extending his curfew to 9 p.m. because nobody is working on lawns at 9 p.m. Nobody's working on lawns at 8:30 p.m. So if somebody wants to speak to me about extending his curfew, I will do that. He'll be allowed to work and his curfew will be extended, but don't ask me for 9 p.m. or 8:30.
How about 7:30? That seems, what do you call that? Splitting the baby?
Hey, I'm not Solomon, but okay.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Sanders, do you have any objections to the curfew being extended to 7 p.m.? I'm being told by defense that there have been no violations.
That's correct, Judge, and I don't have an objection to it.
All right, so I'm going to extend your curfew to 7 p.m.
Would the court do 7:30 since that's what I asked for?
I didn't hear the 30 minutes in there. Mr. Sanders, do you have any objection to the curfew being extended to 7:30?
No, Judge.
All right. Your curfew is extended to 7:30 p.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, if there's nothing else.
I have a question.
Yes. And
When
I don't know if your attorney wants you to ask that question, but I'll hear it.
Thank you, thank you, Your Honor. When I got put on this GPS monitor, the exact reason why I got put on the monitors, they told me that I would be on it for 2 months. That was our agreement when I got put on this monitor.
Well,
And
I don't know who that agreement was coming from because it wasn't coming from the court because the court does not make those type of agreements. The court usually will say, as your attorney says, I will reconsider, but I never give a time frame for GPS.
I believe I got put on the GPS by another judge when I first got put on it. It was for the family violence with my baby's mother.
It's also imposed from County Court 13 by Judge Rosie Gonzalez. And she said she would consider in 60 days. But obviously, both courts have the GPS on them.
All right, then that's something you can address with that court. I don't interfere with other courts' rulings.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's nothing else, we'll close the record.
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Bye-bye. And Mr. Hernandez, you're excused. Anyone else back from the breakout room?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm back from the breakout room.
And who's your client?
Rocky Murillos.
And what is happening on Rocky Murillos?
Judge, the reset to today was due to a discovery issue on his evading arrest. That's been resolved. And so I have received now a firm offer from the state after considering the discovery issues. And so I just request a reset so that I could discuss that and consider that with my client.
And is your client here?
I believe so, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm present.
All right, I'm going to send you to confer with your attorney. Nathaniel Navy, you were in breakout room number 4. Mr.
Yes.
Murillos, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
Okay, Your Honor, thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, I'm also back with Jonathan Chavez.
Yes.
First of all, I have been renamed Devin Soto. I don't know why you did that to me, Judge.
Oh gosh, I don't know why that happened.
But what's going on with Matthew Velasquez is an intox manslaughter. Defense is trying to get the blood discovery. The court signed a blood discovery about a month ago.
Yes.
But there was a miscommunication and none of the prosecutors in this court knew about that. So I got the motion. It's already been scanned in. I contacted QFT, who's the lab that did the testing. I emailed them the motion. They said that they asked for 30 days turnaround. So based on that, we're just asking for a regular reset. It is a second setting, but obviously we want to get from that blood discovery, so they have that.
All right, Norma, on Matthew Velasquez, can you give us probably like a 45-day reset?
Okay, give me 1 second, Judge.
And if you guys can talk about this off docket once you receive that so that you'll have some movement when we come back.
Yes, Judge. I don't know if they send us a disc or if they send us digital, but I'll make sure that's sent over and then we can have discussions on it.
Judge, we'll come back on April 30th.
All right, we'll see you on April 30th.
Thanks. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes. All right, anyone else back from the breakout room?
Your Honor, I just came back, Sharon
Yes.
Thorne, and I would like to confer with my client. He's in custody.
All right, Mr. Ford, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 9.
Thank you.
Where are you, Mr. Ford? Mr. Ford, Ricky Ford, sending you to breakout room number 9. All right, anyone else back from the breakout room?
Judge, this is Ed Cano. And I went in the breakout room, but nobody came to my party.
Oh my gosh, you were there alone? What is your
Yes,
client's
ma'am.
name?
But at least it wasn't dark. But Devin Soto.
That is why. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, Judge.
It's my fault.
Oh,
I'll send you to breakout room number 12. A prosecutor, I promise you, a prosecutor will meet you there.
thanks, Judge.
All right, and it's criminal trial division, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
So Ed, if you'll go back to number 12, please.
Okay. Thanks,
Is
Judge.
that a conflict that I share the name with the defendant?
Yeah. All right, anyone else back from a breakout room?
And Judge, I sent you an email earlier.
Yes. Oh, yes, I've received that. And
Okay, just
Norma,
making sure.
can you make sure that Kimball Ward comes in here because David Lunan has been waiting for her.
Yes, ma'am. I'll keep calling her.
Thank you. I'm pulling that, viewing that right now, Rebecca. Jennifer Zapata. I'm going to, because we're going to be discussing medical issues.
Yes,
and I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Just give me a second. State, Jennifer Zapata, it's on the last page. Is that a criminal trial division or family violence case?
Oh, no.
I don't know. I'll look, Judge.
All right. Just give us a moment. We're going to try to figure out what to do, Ms. Zapata.
Disappeared.
Like family violence, Judge.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Can I see a family violence prosecutor? I'm going to forward the document that probation has sent to me. And if I could see a family violence prosecutor in a breakout room, please. All right, Ms. Zapata, I'm going to
Yes.
send you to breakout room number 3.
Okay.
And Rebecca, if I could see you in 3, please. Everyone, just give me a moment, please. Wrong breakout room, Brenna. Let me see. There we are.
No. 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 Okay. My lawyer there.
All right, we're back. Todd McCray, you're done?
I'm done, Your Honor. Can we be excused?
Yes. Norma, if you'll let them know that Mr. Jimenez can go back, he's 14P.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Sharon Thorne, Mr. Ford.
Yes, ma'am. I conferred. My client's ready to take a plea. I need the paperwork. My problem is, Your Honor, I've got to hop onto the 144th and I've got a trial setting there. Is could we either do it later today or recall for Monday? I don't know how you want to do that.
Oh, just put what the agreement is in the chat box. And is there just a check-in in the 144? You all are not starting a trial, correct?
We're not starting a trial, but I don't know. It's going to be major conferring because it's a trial setting and it's our 12th setting.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. If you get the agreement and everything in the chat box to Norma very quickly, the state will have it done quickly. And
Yes,
we can
ma'am.
get it done.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Orlando Castagno.
Yes, Judge, if I could be put into a breakout room with my client.
All right. Is your client in custody?
He is. It's Roland Davis.
Mr. Davis, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney. I'll send you to breakout room number 10.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anyone else back from the breakout room? Brenda, can you check your chat box, please?
Judge Kimball said she'll be here in about 2 minutes.
All right, thank you.
How can I go to the chat room with my lawyer?
Mr. Perez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to mute you, okay? Your attorney will get you as soon as possible, all right?
Okay, I'm sorry. This is
Oh, no
all new to
problem.
me. So I didn't know if I was being left out or.
No, they'll call you when they need you.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
You're
to bother you.
welcome. All right, has somebody already spoken to Sean Dawes in breakout room number 1?
Yes, Judge. He's waiting for David. David should be logging on here very shortly. He's on an appointment till 10.
All right, thank you. And Norma, I will put to you in the chat box the other attorneys that we need.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, who do you have, Mick?
Good morning, Judge. I filed a motion to set a bond on a motion to revoke on a Jonathan Lopez.
What is the cause number?
Reaching for it right now, Judge. 19 CR 4204. I had done it. I had filed it one day last week, but
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
criminal trial. It's a UUMV.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2. A prosecutor will meet you there to confer.
Thank you, Judge. It's good to see you.
All right, you too. Tom, are you able to confer with Mick Aguilera for a bond on Jonathan
Am I muted?
Lopez? Yes,
No.
he's in number
Yep,
2.
Judge. Sure, I'll go there.
Thank you. To the clerks in the back, I need the motion for a bond on 2019 CR 4204.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Judge. I'm back from the breakout with Tom.
Yes, just give me one moment.
Sure, sure.
David Lunan, I'm going to send you to Kimber Ward to breakout room number 2. And she'll meet you there.
Okay.
Yes, Joseph, on your client? Mick.
I'm sorry. I see my screen says Joseph. I need to change that back to Mick.
Yeah, and so I say Joseph, and I know you don't respond, so.
Okay, Judge, I got to share with you. Somebody calls me Joseph. They're not a friend, likely a bill collector.
Okay, so here's the thing. The motion that's been handed me, it has your client's name is Jose M. Lozano Alarcon.
On, right.
But you say so this is the correct motion?
Yes, that's the correct motion. I just called him Jose Lozano, but it's Alarcon.
Okay.
Tom and I visited. He had already anticipated this motion, or have already read the motion and read the underlying new number one. We've agreed to a $10,000 bond.
All right. Okay. And Norma, can you make sure that Mr. Jose Alarcon gets a setting for this motion to revoke?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you have nothing else, then you are excused.
Thank you. And I just saw Norma's thing. It'll be done this afternoon, Norma.
Thank you, Mick.
Thank you.
All right, and Brenda, thank you for putting that in the box for me.
And I have text messages from her.
Judge, inmate 40 is still here. Is he in a breakout room?
No, he's not in a breakout room. His attorney is sending like paperwork, requesting for paperwork.
Did they take him back? I just want to make sure he's still here.
No, he's in a breakout room.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just making sure they didn't take him back.
No, they have not.
Is it possible for me to go to a breakout room with my client, Melvin Jones?
Yes. Mr. Jones, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney. I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, anyone else back from the breakout room?
I am, Judge.
Yes, on Mr. Orlando Castellon.
I've conferred with my client. I've conferred with the state. I don't think at this point we're going to be able to reach an agreement.
All right, are you Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Davis. We were here before for a reset because of discovery. Have all the discovery issues been addressed, defense?
I believe so, Judge.
All right, who's the prosecutor you were conferring with?
It's, Marcus.
All right, so on this case, the court is going to request that the acknowledgement of discovery is due March 31st. Criminal Trial Division, are you able to get that completed? Okay. And your plea deadline date on this case? Norma, can we bring this back for the second week in April?
Yes, ma'am. The 9th.
All right, we're going to come back on April 9th, Mr. Davis. That is your plea deadline date. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the offer that has been tendered.
Yes, ma'am.
And what that means is that the court will not accept any offers after that date. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's nothing else you have with us, Mr. Navy, you are excused. And Norma, if you can let them know that Mr. Davis can go back.
Yes, ma'am.
And he's 14L. Joe and Ethel, you're back.
Yes, Judge.
And have you had a chance to speak with your client?
Not today. I was conferring with the prosecutor.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 11.
Judge,
Yes.
we don't have an offer from the state yet. And I think I was conferring with Alexandra.
Yes, Judge, this is a case that has a couple of co-defendants, and I would like to, with all varying levels of involvement, I think, and so I would like a chance to dig a little bit deeper into the evidence and also speak with my colleagues about a more universal offer.
All right, Norma, who are the co-defendants on this case and what are their cause numbers?
I can tell you that, Judge.
Let me check on that, Judge. Give me 1 second.
I can tell you, it's James Madron.
Madron's a fugitive right now for sure.
Yeah.
I just got done talking to Ed Cano. We're not sure if Devin Soto, who's the other co-defendant, is here or not.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
All right, so Norma, I want to make sure that all of these co-defendants are set on the same day. And state, how much time do you need?
I would say just a regular reset, Judge. Jordan and I are in communication already.
All right, Norma, can you give this a 30-day reset and state at that time, I'm going to want an offer tendered to the defense?
Absolutely.
We can come back on April 15th.
That's usually not a good day for attorneys, defense attorneys, Norma. That's tax day.
April 8th.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. So it's going to be April 8th, everyone.
All right. May I and my client be excused, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you. Jesus, you can sign off.
And
Thank you, Judge.
May I be excused? I will be wanting to pop back in. I have to go to the 144th, but I did want to approach on a MTR.
Just 1 second. What MTR is that?
It is on a Quintuan blocker.
All right. Well, they've given me that document and the court is going to break at exactly at 12. So if you would like to confer with the prosecutor on that, you can right now. I already have the motion.
No, okay, that's fine if you want to put me into it.
All right, State, is there anyone available to confer with him on 2016 CR 4893?
Judge, I can't look. Can you read me that? Let me pull this up real quick.
All right, it's 2016 CR 4893.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Judge. 826.
Just got some new cases, Tom. Sid is 826677.
All right, Orlando, if you'll go back to breakout room number 10 and prosecutors, he'll be in number 10. And everyone, just give me 1 second. Ed Cano.
Yes.
Yes, on Devin Soto. Is your
Yes,
client on bond?
He's on bond. We called the bondsman. None of the numbers that we have for him are good anymore, and called the bondsman, and they hadn't heard from him since November of 2019.
All right,
November,
if you hang around till 10:30,
Mhm.
that'll be in 10 minutes and I'll call it, okay?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Nathaniel Navy on Rocky Morelos.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is happening?
We were reset from last time to resolve a discovery issue on the evading arrest. That's been clarified. Received a firm offer. I've discussed that with my client. If we could just get a reset.
All right, Mr. Morillas, State, can you have a acknowledgement of discovery by March 31st?
Yes, Judge.
And Norma, can you recall Mr. Morillas in 30 days?
Yes, ma'am. It'll be March 8th. I mean, April 8th. Sorry.
That's okay.
But that's not one. Yes, April 8th.
All right, Mr. Murillo,
Yes, Your Honor.
back here on April 8th. That is your plea deadline date. What that means is the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements past April 8th. Do you understand?
I do, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you and your attorney, Nathaniel, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
So much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Stay
Have a
safe
good
and healthy.
day.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Tom, you're back.
I never went. I read all the stuff online and then I forgot what room Orlando
He's
was
in 10.
Okay. Can you move me? I had to sign out and sign back in and I lost my privileges. I'm a mess here. Sorry.
That's okay. I've sent you to 10. All right. Luis Martinez.
Judge, I'm here.
Hi, you're here for,
Deborah Lopez.
yes, and where's Ms. Lopez?
Ms. Lopez is here in the courtroom.
All right, and what is happening with Ms. Lopez's
Judge,
case?
this is a recall from Tuesday. I didn't have contact with Ms. Lopez. I was able to get a hold of her, so she's here today. So
All right.
I have confirmed, I do have an offer, but I need some time to go over that with her. But this Tuesday was our first appearance in the case.
Okay. Just one moment. All right, so are there any discovery issues?
Judge, what I've got on e-discovery, I think is sufficient. I don't think there's anything outstanding.
All right, Norma, can you recall Ms. Lopez in 30 days?
Yes, ma'am. That would be April 8th.
Judge, I'm all right with the 15th because they extended the tax deadline to June the 15th, so I'm good on that.
Okay, Norma, can you recall it then on April 15th? See, everybody, that's what attorneys do. They procrastinate. They're giving them the extension. They should just treat April 15th like it is.
Yes, ma'am.
So, all right, so he's fine with April 15th.
Okay.
Ms. Lopez, April 15th is going to be your plea deadline date. Could someone give her a copy of the reset date so she can sign it, please?
I'll be happy to do that, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, and with that, you're both excused. Brenda, he's gonna wait till June and then it's gonna be the same thing, you know? Oh, and Norma, we also need Pat Montgomery here.
He's in the 144th, Judge. He's running a few minutes late, so he'll be here.
Okay.
He also said he doesn't have any contact with his client.
All right.
He's the co-defendant on Joanne. He has a co-defendant.
All right, is there a reason Sean Dawes, Sean Dawes is waiting for David?
Is that Madron that we're waiting for Montgomery on?
I'm sorry. Yes.
So Madron's already a fugitive. There's already a warrant out for him.
Ah, okay.
And Soto's the other co-defendant, Judge, that Edward Gano has.
All right. Hello, Dan. You were coming back at 10:30. Your client has 5 minutes.
Right, Your Honor. I've called the several different numbers that I have for him. He's like a day laborer, and his numbers seem to change a lot. And I'd received this notice yesterday afternoon. And I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember, Judge, if you gave us both the date to come back at the last hearing or not.
She only speaks Spanish.
Just a moment.
Assuming you did.
Who's her nephew?
Who's Mercedes? That's the, I thought.
Yes, I did.
Okay. I guess, Your Honor, I mean,
A warrant was previously issued for your client,
okay.
and I recall that warrant.
Okay. Then I guess, can I
Yeah.
be excused then? I don't think he's going to.
No. Brenna, we're gonna go on the record. Brenna's frozen. Just one moment.
And Marcus, if we get him into custody, if he gets taken into custody, we can still do the same deal with the next setting? Okay.
All right, she's gonna try to zoom back in.
Okay.
Hi, Sharon, you're back?
Yes, ma'am, I'm back.
Okay.
I could do the paperwork, I guess. I don't know if Norma sent it to me. I think I sent her through the chat. I don't know if she got it.
All right, Norma, did you receive the notice from Sharon Thorne?
Yes, ma'am. I sent all the paperwork to your email, Sharon.
Okay, I'll check right now. I was just in the 144th. Let me check that.
No,
All
no
right.
problem.
And let me find her guy. You're in breakout room number 9. That's where your client is.
Okay, and let me get my, I'll do that, and then let me check my email.
And everyone, just give me a moment. Let me see it. Here comes Brenna. Brenna, you're back.
I don't know what happened.
I do. You're leaving to make us realize your importance. We already know how important you are.
Thank you, Jen.
We can't do anything without you. We missed you so much. All right, so we're going to start with Sebastian Salazar. Court, are parties ready? Court is calling 2020 CR 2990 and 2021 CR 0256. State of Texas versus Sebastian Salazar. Can I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
Dan Rodriguez for the state, or for the defense, rather. Sorry.
All right. We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections?
No.
No, Judge.
All right, this case was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:29 a.m. Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia, has there been a Sebastian Salazar in the courtroom at all today?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
And for the record, there has not been a Sebastian Salazar on the Zoom screen either. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
No, Your Honor.
And have you tried to contact your client?
Your Honor, I've tried several different numbers. My client is a day laborer, and I believe he uses temporary telephones, and his number has changed often. So I've not been able to reach him, Your Honor. However, I only received notice of this hearing yesterday near 5 p.m. So I would ask that you please allow me to make further attempts to contact him and bring him into court on Monday.
All right, and the court will note for the record that in 2020 CR 2990, where the defendant is charged with aggravated robbery, the court did issue a warrant at that time for the defendant's failure to appear, and the court recalled that warrant. And the court will also note for the record that what defense attorneys received is the link to Zoom in, but your client's notice would have been given by the same way it was given pre-COVID. So the only thing that the court coordinator is sending out to everyone is she's sending out the link for you to appear by Zoom. But as far as notices are given, notices are legally given, and notices are given at the person's last known address. And if the person has changed their address and has not informed the court of that, then that is not the court's fault. State?
Judge, we're asking that you forfeit his bond and issue a warrant.
That will be granted in each of the cause numbers, and the court will remand him without bond. If you're able to get in touch with your client, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you. Y'all have a nice day.
All right, you too. For some
Judge?
reason, I'm sorry, just one moment. Brenna, for some reason,
It's not working?
it is not working.
Okay, are you connected?
Yes, I am. I'm going to try to do it again. I shut my computer down. And
Okay,
I'm going to try to start it again.
I'll disconnect and reconnect. Maybe that will.
All right, everyone, just give me a moment. I keep getting noticed something about the cloud. Let me try it again. I'll try it again now.
I don't, it might be on my end.
Okay. If not, that's okay.
It was green earlier, but now it's yellow and I don't know what that means.
All right. Well, I'll just know it's not there. Yeah, because it's saying login fail. That's fine.
Let me see.
Devin Soto on Edward Cano.
Yes, Judge. I'm here.
All right. Court is calling 2020 CR 1887B, State of Texas versus Devin Jeremiah Soto. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Gordon Brown.
For the defense?
This is Ed Cano for the defendant.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state or the defense?
No objection from the state.
No objection by the defense.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:34 a.m. Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia, has there been a Devin Jeremiah Soto in the courtroom at all today?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
And he has not been on the Zoom screen. And I'll note that the defendant was scheduled to appear on January 7, 2021. And the defendant was a no-show at that time. And the case was reset for today. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
No, Judge, we were provided a phone number and contacted that number on our appointment sheet. And someone did answer, but said it was the wrong number. We further contacted the AA Best Bail Bonds, who is the bondsman for the defendant in this in your court. And what was that? Those folks reported to me that the client has not reported to them since November 20th of 2019.
All right, State.
State would request that bond be forfeited and a warrant be issued for the defendant.
All right, that'll be granted, and your client will be remanded without bond. If you're able to get in touch with your client, present him to the court, and the court will reconsider.
All right, Judge.
All right, thank you. Have a good day, Ed.
Yeah, you do the same.
All
Take
right.
care of yourself.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. All right, on Quintuan Blocker, is there an agreement or no?
There is, Judge.
All right, and what is the agreement?
Bond set for 30,000.
All right, is there any type of no contact order or anything that should be included? I'm looking at the allegations in the motion.
Judge, those are already included in the other bonds for the ag assault and also the firearm litigation.
All right, if you'll talk with Norma for a setting on Quinton Blocker.
I believe you set next week.
Okay. All right, to the clerks in the back, could I have a B page on 2019 CR 4893, please? And your bond will be set for 30,000.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, you're excused. Rebecca, any updates on Miss Zapata?
Judge, I'm on the phone right now.
All right, thank you.
With them.
And whoever is Ayala 16A, you need to show your video and unmute yourself. Mr. Ayala,
Yes, ma'am.
do not ever turn off your video. Do you understand?
I didn't touch it or anything. I was just they told me not to touch the mouse or anything like that, ma'am.
All right, don't ever turn off the video. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Do I?
I'll shut down the file and restart and maybe it will work. If you
All
just,
right, thank you.
Okay, just give me 1 second.
Judge, can you repeat the case number again?
2016 CR 4893.
Thank you.
Mhm. Here you go. Yes.
I remember
Judge, can I see you in a breakout room?
Yes. Breakout room number 1, okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, Tom, is David here yet?
I don't know.
No, I'm sorry, he's not here yet. I texted him, but he may be stuck somewhere.
Don, this is Perez, can I talk to you or no? Or should I just mute it?
Actually, Norma, if you're there, can I have a breakout room with Mr. Perez?
Sean, I can't move you. I don't have the capability to do it. You would have to wait till the judge gets back. I will let her know as soon as she gets back.
All right, thanks.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't know if I was lost in this conversation or.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Zapata.
Yes.
All right, we're trying to find appropriate program for you.
Okay.
Probation did have a chance to speak with the person in the ROARS program.
Okay.
So we're just gonna need to do some more searching and some more work.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do, so everybody will have time, because I want it done right and I don't want it to be rushed. We're gonna bring you back. Norma, can we bring her back on March 26th?
Of course.
All right, so we're gonna bring you back on March 26th.
Okay.
And by then I will have done my research. The probation officer will do her research to see if we can find a program that can help with your mental health issues, okay?
Okay.
All right, do you have any other questions, Ms. Zapata?
No, ma'am. Just March 26th is when I'll be able to come back, right?
Yes, and we're gonna take care of it then, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Norma, can you let them know that Ms. Zapata can go back?
Yes, ma'am. And can you put Sean Dawes and his client, Mr. Bettis, 14K in a breakout room, please?
All right, Sean Dawes, if you go back to breakout room number 1. Mr.
Okay.
Pettis, if you go to 1.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How do I get there?
Oh, if you see at the bottom of the screen, did you see a request to go to 1?
Your Honor, I'm back from break room. I think we've got all the paperwork signed. I hope.
Okay. Well, let me send you to the breakout room. Your client is,
Mr. Ford, he signed everything.
all right, if you go back to breakout room number 9, clerk will be there to
Okay.
swear him in.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
And to the clerk, if you go to breakout room number 9.
Judge Jerry Valdez should be logging in just a few minutes.
Okay.
Marcus, can I see you in a breakout room? It's Rebecca.
Three.
Okay, thanks.
All right, and who was the who was the defense attorney who needed to speak with David Martin?
Sean Dawes.
He's with his client right now.
Okay. All right, and Norma, we also need Kenneth Baker.
He's in the 144th as well, Judge.
Okay.
Jordan, I sent you a chat.
Hello.
Hi, Judge.
Hi.
I'm back in the breakout room, Kimball Ward, and
Yes.
I'm not able to come to an agreement on my client's case.
Okay.
So at this point, I would like either, another setting or a plea deadline or whatever you deem appropriate. I don't think I have a plea deadline set on this one.
All right. Let me ask this. David Lunan, are you the prosecutor also on the assault family choking as well?
No, that's Joey Ray.
All right. Joe Ray, could you unmute? And David, you're muted as well.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Have you received all the discovery on each of these cases, Ms. Ward?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
All right. State, will you be able to give me an acknowledgement of discovery by March 31st?
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge.
All right. So on each of the cases, the acknowledgement of discovery is due March 31st. And Mr. Jones, could you unmute yourself for me, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I don't want to know what the offer is, but you've received the offer from the state on both of these cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a plea deadline date, Mr. Jones. What that means is if you decide to accept a plea, you will have to let the court know on or before that date whether or not you're accepting the plea. If you decide not to accept the plea bargain agreement at the time, the court will not consider any further plea bargain agreements. And that means that if you decide to enter a plea, it will have to be open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, can we recall this? Mid-April?
Yes, ma'am. We can do you want to do the 15th, Judge?
Ms. Ward, I'm being told that tax season has been extended, but are you okay with April 15th?
I believe April 15th is just fine, Judge.
All right, so your plea deadline date is going to be April 15th, Mr. Jones. We're going to bring you back on April 15th. And at that time, you can let the court know for sure that you're rejecting the state's plea. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if there's nothing else, Ms. Ward, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and David, nice seeing you.
You too, Judge. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Jones can go back? He's 14-0.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Jones, we'll see you April 15th.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you have a good day.
You too.
Yes, it is. Mr. Baker?
Good morning, Judge. I'm here.
Good morning, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
All right, you have Jeremy Martinez.
Yes, ma'am.
That is a aggravated robbery case.
Yes.
I will send you to breakout room number 2. Could a prosecutor meet him in 2? And let me put your client's name next to your name. And then when you come back, you can tell me why your nickname is Eric.
Okay, I will. It's a good my father's name was Kenneth also.
Okay, because I'm always, I always love information.
So my parents always called me Eric. I didn't know my name was Kenneth until about the 5th grade.
Get out of town. I bet you that was shocking when your teacher would call you and you wouldn't answer.
Yes, yes. They thought I was just not a good listener.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2. A prosecutor will meet you there. And Mr. Martinez, as soon as he speaks with the prosecutor, he'll request you, okay?
Judge, I sent you an update on it.
Okay, thank you. All right. All right, no problem. And you know what? They always try to use all this terminology that we don't understand. I'd never heard of a catalyst being used.
Well, that's the name of my software.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, how is that related to technology? All right, just give me one moment, everyone. Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
can you send me the application for probation on Mr. Ford? For some reason, it's missing.
No, Sharon Thorne signed it already. It
Yes.
just went to the inmate.
Okay. Sean Dodge, you back?
Yes, Your Honor. I know it's set today for the possession charge. The client has a bunch of other charges also. One, the more serious being on kidnapping. I was waiting for, I think Tom had said David. I'm assuming that means David Martin.
Yeah, David is here.
Okay. So I guess can I get a quick breakout room with him and see? Okay.
All right, David, can you go to breakout room number 2, please?
All right, thank you.
Sure. Kenneth Baker, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor. Can I speak with my client, Mr. Martinez, briefly?
All right, Mr. Martinez, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. Thanks, Brenda. Norma, could you go to breakout room number 9, please?
The email has the defendant assigned the application yet. But they're ready to.
Thank you.
And Norman's gonna come to the jail right now.
All right, Brenda, I have it.
Okay, good.
Sharon, could you join them at number 9? Because I think they're trying to get the last of the paperwork.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Kenneth Baker came back in here. Just one moment. All right, Mr. Ford, Brenda, you're ready? Who's the prosecutor on Mr. Ford?
Marcus.
Can I put in for a bond reduction? I'm not ready to sign on a plea agreement right now.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 1785, State of Texas versus Ricky Darnell Ford. If I can have parties announced for the record, please.
Marcus Sanders for the state.
Wow.
Sharon,
Ricky Ford.
And are you Mr. Ricky Ford?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Brenda, off the record for a moment. Kenneth Baker,
Yes, Your Honor.
did you need to speak with the state again?
Yeah, but I need to speak with Marcus. I'll just hang out until he's.
All right, thank you. We'll go back on the record. Mr. Ford, are you able to mute and unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you could do that for me, please, because we're getting a lot of noise from the back where you are. We're proceeding by video in this case because of the pandemic. Any objections to us proceeding by video? State?
No objection.
Defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Ford, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
You're gonna have to unmute it yourself again. There you go.
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Ford, I'm showing you a document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, electronically.
Mr. Ford, I'm showing you a document entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Off the record for a moment. State, Pat Montgomery is here. I'm going to send you, Mr. Montgomery, to breakout room number 4. A prosecutor will meet you in breakout room number 4.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Ford, I'm going to show you a document entitled Court's Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
What you're charged with is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
We've confirmed, there's no defenses.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ford, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the page entitled Plea Bargain. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,000 fine that is to be probated. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with David Guerra, Guerra. Mary Vaz Chavez, Baezchavez, and no contact with 439 Arbor Place, Arbor. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
You're on mute.
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, Mr. Ford, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution, a MIC-MIOF evaluation, and CATS 1 and 2 course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
Yes, the state offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Ford, I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you
Yes, ma'am.
understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Judge.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain? I'm sorry, just 1 second. I noticed something in the paperwork. Give me a moment.
Well, why does it take so long? If mom doesn't stop being asked, you can like.
All right, Mr. Ford, did you understand that the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibit 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. My client presently lives at the Haven for Hope. So we are hoping that with this MIOF and MIC that they can help him with his situation. He does advise me that he's been going to the Center for Healthcare Services and he takes medicine and he has a mental health diagnosis. So we ask that definitely MIC and MIOF would be appropriate for him.
All right. Mr. Ford,
Ma'am.
are you on any medications while you're at the jail?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what medications are you taking?
Respiratory.
All right, what is your diagnosis?
Schizoaffective, bipolar, PTSD, depression. And that's all I can remember right now.
All right.
I just recently got blood drawn to see if I need to take my Vegas shot.
All right. Do you have a support system? Mom, brothers?
Dad, but he's in Killeen, Texas.
Sorry, what?
my dad, but he comes back and forth to check on me.
All right, is there anyone else?
No.
All right, I'm gonna send it you $1,000 fine. That will be probated. 5 years deferred adjudication. I'm gonna have a Mick mouth evaluation. That's gonna be done while you're in custody, because what I'm being told, Mr. Ford, if you don't have a place to stay, you're homeless. And my concern is if you're released and I don't have the evaluation to tell me what medications you should be on, I don't know whether Mick Mouth will accept you. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And you need to have either Mick Mouth accept you, which is a program that's through probation. I'm going to ask them to expedite the evaluation because I think you need to be on the mental health caseload, but I can't just assign you to the mental health caseload if you're not accepted.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to have a Mick Mouth evaluation while in custody. And we're going to follow the recommendations of Mick Mouth. There's to be no contact with David Guerra. Mary Baez Chavez. 439 Arbor Place. And I know that the state, outside the agreement, you're asking for cats 1 and cats 2, but from reading the police report, I can't tell, is this really a situation where he was homeless, he's trying to stay in a vehicle, or he's homeless, plus he has these mental health issues? Because when I read the police report, it says he was just wrapped in a blanket. So is this really a cats 1, cats 2 situation or not? Does anyone know?
Judge, I thought that I felt that it was based on the fact that in the victim statement, he said that it appeared that the defendant was scanning the items in his car. And then I think he takes some money from the Mary Baez Chavez. And so that's why I thought maybe it was appropriate, but we're fine if you don't think that it is.
I don't know, State, what is this? What is the real issue? You know, I like to get to the bottom of issues since both sides have agreed that he's going to be placed on deferred adjudication. I don't want him to come back here without being successful on it. So defense, what do you think the issue is?
Your Honor, I think it's homelessness and mental health issues. And obviously making very poor choices, but I think that's a lot of it. And you know, that's, to me, that's what it is. It's homelessness and mental health.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is then the McMiles evaluation while in custody, follow recommendations. No contact with David Guerra, Mary Baez Chavez, 439 Arbor Place. There's going to be 150 hours of community service restitution. If not accepted by Mick or Maya, then I'm going to order the ROARS program and for you to make contact and follow whatever recommendations from the Center for Healthcare Services. Mr. Ford?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you employed? Were you employed before this?
No, ma'am.
How were you supporting yourself?
Really more like just staying off of drugs and all of that.
All right. Have you ever had any employment?
Yes, ma'am. I was actually working at the original Mexican restaurant 2 jobs before they let me go. I was trying to work 2 jobs. That's the reason why they let me go. That's why I wasn't unemployed.
All right. And then Rebecca, if we can refer him to felony drug court. And upon release, I'm going to want field visits. And I'm going to want those to be random, but at least once per month. And they'll be regular reporting to probation. And there'll be regular UAs. What type of drugs were you taking, Mr. Ford?
Just alcohol.
All right. And when you do the drug testing, I'm gonna want a testing for alcohol. Rebecca, is there anything else that Mr. Ford needs?
No, ma'am, but to verify, you want first the make my evaluation following custody. And then at that point, if not accepted, you want to do the ROARS program next or the felony drug court referral next?
Felony drug court referral, and that's to happen while he's in custody.
Okay.
And then if that fails, then the ROARS and Center for Healthcare Services. Mr. Ford, felony drug court, if they accept you, they'll be able to address your mental health issues as well.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Ford, is there anything you think that you need in order to be successful? Anything other than what I've already addressed?
No, ma'am. I was just wondering, would I be released today or tomorrow?
No, you're not going to be released today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have them to expedite the evaluations, and we're going to get another court date for you to come back so we can make sure it's completed, okay?
Okay.
All right, next I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement. I'm sorry. Also, there's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. And Mr. Ford, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're off the record. Mr. Ford, what I can tell you from my experience, people receive medications for mental health issues, and then they have side effects and they stop taking them. You need to, if you have side effects, you need to report that to your doctor so they can give you something else. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do not come back here for this anymore, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Norma, can we have a date to come back with Mr. Ford to just make sure the MILF evaluation is on track?
You want to come back in 30 days, Judge, or how long do you want me to?
Let's come back in 20 days just to give an update.
Okay, give me 1 second. Oh, come on. We can come back on the 26th, Judge, on a Friday.
I'm sorry, when?
The 26th of March?
Oh, no, let's put it in February at least. I'm sorry, in April at least.
April 2nd?
Yes.
Okay.
Ms. Thorne, are you okay with staying on until April 2nd so we can see where he is with the MILF?
Yes, ma'am.
April 2nd's a holiday.
Oh, Norma, April 2nd is a holiday.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
No.
Yes, that's Good Friday. No, we don't want that.
Norma?
Do you want to do the 31st then? March 31st, is that too soon, Judge?
All right, we can set it
Or we can do April 5th.
All right, April 5th, Mr. Ford.
That's fine. April 5th.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room, Mr. Ford, with Rebecca Reyes. She is with probation. She'll go over conditions with you.
Okay.
I'll send you to breakout room number 4. And Ms. Thorne, you can go to 4 or either if you need to be somewhere where else you're excused.
Thank you, Honor. May be excused. Okay.
Yes. And Rebecca, if you could go to breakout room number 4, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you send Eric Baker to a room other than 2?
Yes. Mr. Baker, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1.
Okay, great.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes, just give me 1 moment, please.
Okay.
Judge Pat Montgomery, I lost my breakout room assignment.
Okay, who are you conferring with?
I went to a breakout room and I waited and nobody showed up.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
And then I disconnected. So I've
All
lost
right.
my breakout room assignment. I don't have one to go to.
All right, I'm gonna give you someone. Just give me a moment. And your client isn't here.
He is, I was told he was in the courtroom. Norma called
Let
and
me
said that
see.
but the public database showed that he was in jail, which I never knew he was in jail because nobody told me he'd been arrested.
No, he's in the courtroom.
Yeah, okay, Your Honor. Well, I'm happy to chat with him. I'd like to get a breakout room with a prosecutor first.
All right, I'm
There we
sending you
go.
to breakout room number 2. Could a prosecutor meet Mr. Montgomery number 2? Jerry
Judge-
Valdez? Yes, Norma?
Jerry Valdez was asking to be put in a breakout room.
Jerry Valdez.
Yes, Judge, I'd like to be put in a breakout room with Mr. Ayala. I met with him about 2 weeks ago, but we need to confer one more time.
All right, have you received an offer from the state?
No, ma'am.
All right, so let me give you a breakout room with the state. They'll tender an offer to you. And it's criminal trial division. I'll send you to breakout room number 5.
Okay.
And Sean Dawes.
Okay, yes, Your Honor. I conferred with Mr. Martin, and he wasn't able to make an offer per se at this time. There are 2 sealed cases, 2 sealed assault cases, and of course we're here on the drug charge, but of course the ag kidnapping kind of takes precedence.
Oh, no. We're here on both cases. Like I said,
Okay.
all the cases together. So we're here on both. And Norma on
The drug charges.
Don Pettis.
Both without bond. Yeah.
Okay, just be, John, relax.
Can you recall this in 30 days? State, will you be able to make an offer in 30 days?
Yeah, it should be. The
All right.
newer cases, we just got the reports and everything from SAPD maybe about a week ago. So.
All right, okay, what we'll do then is, Mr. Dawes, we'll recall this for 30 days and see where we are. Mr. Pettis, did you want to say something?
No, he doesn't want to say anything.
Yeah, but if I can address the court with my bond on the drug charge, it was revoked without
Now, here's the
bond.
thing, Mr. Pettis, we're not going to hear any bond issues right now. What we will do, if you want to have a bond issue heard and your attorney wants to have a bond issue heard, we will set it for a bond issue. Do you understand? You can unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I was a little confused about what I was here for. My lawyer had advised me that I was here to try to.
Okay,
get a
I'm gonna mute you on that end because there's a lot of noise. But let me explain the process to you in this courtroom, Mr. Pettis. Your cases were recently indicted. I have the hearing set so that your attorney will get a chance to confer with the state. I will get a chance to know whether or not their offers have been tendered or not, because in this court, I require the state to tender an offer, right? What the state is telling me is they are not ready to tender an offer at this time because you have other cases that they have. Is David falling over? It's because you have other cases that they have not had a chance to review or give that discovery to your attorney. Therefore, your case is going to be reset in 30 days. At that time, the state will let your attorney know whether or not they can make an offer. Your attorney in the state will be conferring off docket. So what that means is, even though you're going to have a court date set for another date, your attorney in the state will still be talking. If there are bond issues to be heard or motions to be heard, the court will hear them. But let me explain something to you on that. Mr. Dawes is your attorney. I don't know, I'm going to explain something to you. You may have motions that you want heard that you filed. Let me explain something to you. I know for a fact that every attorney who appears on this this screen at least has a bachelor's degree, because that was required. I know that every attorney on this screen went to law school and have a bar card because that's required. I don't know why it is, and mind you, I've been a defense attorney and a prosecutor. I don't know why it is that people who didn't go to law school, didn't go to college, think that they can be an attorney. And let me give you an example. Attorneys are experts at what they do. Now, if you needed heart surgery, I don't think you would go to the heart surgeon and say, well, here's my paperwork, and I've been doing some reading, and I think you shouldn't be using stitches here. I think we should go by way of the laser, and I think you should take this route. Now, I don't know why people feel that they can do that to attorneys. So Mr. Dawes is your attorney.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Mr. Dawes will file whatever motions he feels needs to be filed, and the court will hear his motions. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. I apologize for that. I was just anxious to get out. I felt
No,
like I
there's
was-
no need to apologize, but I just want to let you know what the circumstances are, okay?
I was just anxious to get out. I was asking for a lower bond or to get out. I'm being held on false charges. I'm not guilty.
Now, here's the thing. I don't want to hear
Okay, all right.
about
I'm
the
sorry.
facts of the case,
I'm sorry.
because that's not that's not where we are in this hearing. But Mr. Dawes knows if he wants a motion heard, then the court will hear it. So Norma, can we have a 30-day reset on Mr. Pettis?
Yes, ma'am, we can come back on April 8th.
All right, we're going to come back on April 8th.
Yes.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
Mr. Dawes, if there's a motion that needs to be heard before then, you can hear it. Judge Angelini will be here next week. And if you want to have it heard then, I'm sure the state will be ready.
Oh, I think I'll wait for the other week, the following week. But I have filed habeas petitions, but I'll get in touch with Norman.
All right, just let Norma know and she'll set it. And the
All right.
reason why I'm asking you to do that is because defense attorneys would file motions in the 187th. 187th, we set your motions quickly, and defense attorneys were complaining, saying, you're setting our motions too quickly. So you have to let us know, all right?
Okay.
Should I
Thank you,
file
Judge.
them on my end or just wait for my attorney to file?
Your attorney will.
Please get me out of here. Dawes.
John, I'll
Your attorney will see you,
talk to you.
Mr. Pettis.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you,
you're
Your Honor.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're
You talk
welcome.
to-
Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Pettis can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
This guy don't talk to me. He does not talk to me. He is
No,
not-
here's the thing. Do not, no, stop right there. This is the thing. Don't you dare talk about people when they're not here and can't address what you're saying. Do you understand? And don't try to ex parte me by trying to say something about your attorney. If you don't appreciate or want the court appointed attorney that you have, you can always hire one. But I don't do this issue where you talk about your attorney when your attorney is not here.
I'm sorry. Your
Do you
Honor.
understand?
I was
No,
just
stop
misled.
apologizing and just start doing right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Pettis can go back?
Yes, ma'am, I just finished talking to them.
May I address the court?
Yes, just give me one moment. And Norma, can you make sure, I know all of his cases are set on the same day. If you can just make sure that Mr. Pettis, all of his cases are set the same day.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
Yes, Mr. Montgomery?
Your Honor, Mr. Madron, my client, is in the courtroom.
Yes.
For some reason or another, the public database shows that he was a bond forfeiture today. I think that was entered even before 9 a.m. somehow.
No, I haven't heard, I haven't entered anything because I haven't heard it. He
Yeah,
was
and
listed for a bond forfeiture from January.
Well, it says today on the public database, and on Miss Williamson's database, it says today as well. But he's been booked on that prior bond forfeiture, and he's made bond on that prior bond forfeiture. So he's good on that, on a $30,000
Okay,
bond, Judge.
I don't know why that will be in the court system for today. I'll check on that because I have the file here. I have not issued a bond forfeiture on him for today.
That was the first issue, Your Honor. The second issue is there are some sealed cases that Miss Williamson wants to look into. So I'd ask you to pass this case and excuse me to return to my prisoner case in County Court 12.
All right, just one moment. Can I see the clerk, please, on the screen?
Yes, Judge.
All right, was a bond forfeiture put in the record today for Mr. James Madron?
Today, no, Judge. But what's the case number, Judge?
It's 2020 CR 1887A.
1887A is an update.
Yes.
There was a bond forfeiture back in January 28th. But
Yes.
it shows bond forfeiture on, he made bond already on it, but the bond forfeiture code on a case status is still showing up. So it's still gonna show, but he's already released, so he's okay.
There we go. I don't know why that will be in the system. So to the courtroom, could I see Mr. James Madron on the screen, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, State, what new cases does he have coming down? Do we even know, or?
Oh, Your Honor, these are actually pretty old cases. He's got two fail to stop and render aids SBI cases from 2019. So I'm gonna have to email the prosecutor, excuse me, and see why he's sitting on those cases, or if we can just move forward without them or take care of them. I'll have more information as soon as I speak with Mr. Phillips about this.
All right, is 30 days enough time for you?
Yes.
All right, Norma, can you recall James Madron for 30 days, please?
Yes, ma'am, April 8th.
All right, Mr. Madron, we're going to see you back on April 8th. And could someone make sure he has a reset form so there'll be no confusion?
Judge, I'm a little confused. We ran him and he does have an active warrant.
Here's the thing. I don't understand what's happening with the district clerk, but what I'm being told is that he doesn't have one in the system.
Let me double check, Judge.
Judge, could you assign me to whatever breakout room Kenneth Baker is in, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
He's in number 1. And let me make you a co-host, Tom.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Pat, what are we looking at?
I know, what are we looking at?
Keyboard.
Oh, excuse me. I had the same thought.
Yeah.
Were you talking to me?
Oh, okay. See, people
weird.
always wants to do the taxi driver.
He's on 2 different Zooms. I think he's doing this on his phone.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a guy out. He's been in jail 80 days without talking to a lawyer in County Court 12. We want to do a JSAT, but I've got him on another screen. And so I'm hitting mute with you, Your Honor, and talking to him and then hitting
Okay,
mute.
all right. No problem.
I took over for whoever, they asked me to do it this morning. I had no idea it would happen. I was in there on 3 other cases.
Oh, no, make sure you take care of that. Jerry Valdez, you're back?
Yes, ma'am. Jordan and I conferred. This is one big mess, Judge. I won't use the military terminology, but.
So I will try to be as brief as possible, Judge.
He has a drug case, which is the only case defense is appointed to. That on its own would probably be okay. However, he also has a new drug case from January. I don't know if we have labs on that yet, but those are unindicted. I don't think he's appointed on those yet. But more importantly, he has from July a series of sealed cases, and that's where the mess occurs. He's accused of committing a burglary in Atascosa County. He is the passenger in a vehicle that evades pursuit into Bexar County, upon which point he's accused of punching a sheriff's deputy in the face and fleeing on foot. All of those cases are filed with us. And for sure, the Berg Hab and evading should probably be filed with Atascosa. I think even the assault maybe should be filed with Atascosa. And I just called the Atascosa County DA's office and they don't have any of those cases. So I'm trying to coordinate with our intake attorney to figure out what we're going to take and what not. And on the back end of it all, he's habitual. So even on his less than a gram case, he's 2 to 20. On these other cases, he's 25 to life. So I prefer to get those sorted, and I wouldn't be able to make an offer until I get them sorted.
All right. So, Jerry, this is what we're going to do. Norma, can you bring this back to at the end of April?
Yes, ma'am. Hold on. Let me see. At the end of April 29th.
All right. Mr. Ayala, could you unmute, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, there's a lot going on with your case. It's more than just a possession less than a gram. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to come back on April 29th. At that time, hopefully I can get an update from the state and your counsel. And Norma, if we can see who's going to be appointed to all the other cases and see maybe if Mr. Valdez can be appointed to all those cases.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll recall it for April 29th.
In your honor, Mr. Ayala and I had conferred a couple of weeks back, and he did make me aware of those cases. That's why I told Jordan up front what's going on. So
okay,
we knew nothing probably was going to happen today. So Oscar, I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, Norma, you can let Mr. Ayala know he can go back.
That'd be excused, Judge.
I'm sorry, what, Norma?
Yes, ma'am. I'll let the Joe know.
All right, and then Jerry, we'll see about placing you on the other cases.
All right, Judge. Maybe excused.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Jordan.
All right, we're still trying to figure out what's going on with Mr. Madrone.
Judge, Luca fixed it. He got it. He took everything off.
Okay. All right, so when do we need to recall Mr. Madrone?
Your Honor, 30 days is good for us. I already sent the email to the prosecutor, just waiting on his response.
All right, so we're going to come back on April 8th. Could somebody make sure he gets a reset form for April 8th? And Mr. Madrone, if you do not show up on time for April 8th, or if you don't show up at all, the state is going to ask for a bond forfeiture. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to make sure that you appear for every court date you have.
Yes,
and it's April 8th. And on April 8th, you can either appear in court or by Zoom. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
If I may, Judge, Mr. Madrone, please, my phone number is 210-CALL-PAT, CALLPAT. Please call me.
Oh, let's do this. Courtroom.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. And Pat, I'm going to send you to number 1 so you guys can exchange information. And then after that, to the courtroom, he's excused.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Eric Baker on Jeremy Martinez.
Yes, Judge, the state has made a counteroffer to our offer. Can I just briefly meet with Mr. Martinez to run that by him to see if we have a disposition?
Yes, I'll send you to breakout room number 3. That's where your client is.
Okay.
All right, Kenneth, you're back.
Yes, Judge, my clients accepted the state's offer. So we can proceed if the court.
Yes, if you put the information into the chat box or let Norma know what the agreement is, we can get the paperwork.
Will do, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and Mr. Martinez, I'm going to send you back to a breakout room so your attorney can go over the paperwork with you, okay?
Norma, I'm done with Ford.
Okay, Rebecca, thank you.
I'm hoping. Oops. Hi, Kenneth. What's going on?
So my client can't figure out how to get his plea paperwork, and apparently there's no deputies around to help him. So we're just waiting there. Just want to praise the court of our situation.
All right. Norma, are you able to help them with plea paperwork or no?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'll send Norman that a breakout room #1 and let's see what we can do.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And everyone, I will be back. I'm going to take a short break. And everyone, remember, we are still live.
Norma, I just sent you a chat.
Yes, ma'am. Hold on.
Rebecca.
All right, everyone, I'm back. Lupe, can you go to check the email for paperwork?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Baker?
Yes,
No application on yours, right?
application, correct.
Okay.
All right, Lupe, if you can swear him in.
I was just waiting for the paperwork. I just approved it. Mr. Martinez, raise your right hand. You understand these waivers presented by your attorney?
You need to unmute.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
Your
understand
Honor.
by signing them, you're giving up your rights to a jury trial.
Yes, sir.
And everything's true and correct, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Let me just double check everything.
Okay.
All right, Brenda, you ready? Who's the prosecutor on this?
I am.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 11388, State of Texas versus Jeremy Martinez. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Alexandra Williamson.
for the defense?
Eric Baker for Mr. Martinez, he's present. So
And are you Mr. Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
no objections.
Mr. Martinez, did you review the document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference?
Yes.
Did you electronically sign it and did you understand it?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Defense, have you received all the discovery in this case? Did you review that discovery with your client?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Martinez, I'm going to show you a document entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Still wait.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor. We're waiving the repeater allegation.
Any objections to the state's waiver?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to show you a document entitled Court's Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand you're charged with aggravated robbery? That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes. No contest. I answered
No, I want you to listen to my question. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
All right, counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, we've discussed all those options, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, he's a very smart guy.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm going to show you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, your punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez,
Yes, ma'am.
showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you
Yes.
understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then Mr. Martinez, to the offense as charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor. The state offers States Exhibit 1 and attachments.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiving Consent to Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them, the right to remain silent?
Yes. Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that, all right, court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding to sentencing?
We'd request that, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, other than I believe he's taken responsibility early, and he tells me he intends to learn from his mistakes. And when he does his time and pays his debt to society, he's going to go out and work hard and not return to you, he promises.
All right, then the court will follow your plea bargain agreement, sentence you to 8 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. And the court will also find that there's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, and also because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Martinez, good luck to you. You've got to make better decisions. You understand?
Yeah, man, wrong place. I'm sorry. You know, I will. You know, I was doing.
Because, I mean, if you don't, you're going to find yourself in prison for the remainder of your life. You understand?
Yes.
Now, you could have easily gone to prison for life for this. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
34. I just turned 34 in December.
Yeah. If you don't want to see yourself in prison when you're 50 and 60, you've got to straighten up. All right.
I will.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, Miss.
All right. Have a good day. All right, everyone. We're going to take our break. And Mr. Baker, thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge. Good to see you.
All right. You too. Have a good one. All right, Lupe, I need the file back from yesterday on Cameron Scott. Who took the file?
Oh, I'll probably get it. Let me check it.
All right, with that, we're going to take a break for the afternoon, and we'll be back at 1:30 to complete that hearing.
Are we coming back for anything other than the MTR, Judge?
No.